What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about our top 10 power forwards right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, disclaimer, and this is something it's getting hard for me to do. I did have to include 100 overalls in this video, given the fact that we saw 100 overall locker code. Now, with that being said, no Invincibles or GOAT cards are going to be featured. So, obviously, Invincible Shaq, Bob Pettit, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis, Kareem are all top. Kareem probably 1, Wemby probably 2, Wemby might be 1, Kareem 2, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I don't think, it is what it is. 2K is going after the whales, but it is what it is. I did include 100 overalls. Guys that aren't going to be featured that if you got that are usable. I didn't include a guy like Anthony Davis. I don't personally love AD. If you got him, he's usable. I didn't include Dwight Howard. I mean, if you got him, he's usable. I didn't include Patrick Ewing. If you got him, he is ultimately usable. Now, again, it really does a lot of times come down to preference base. And if you got a card, how good are they? Is it, ultimately up to you. Now, at number 10, I'm going to have a tie, okay? I got to plug in Rudy Gobert, but I also got Jack Sigma at my number 10. Both these cards are cards that I don't mind. Now, at the time I'm recording this thing, I'll look up the price of Jack Sigma for you guys. Jack Sigma is going to give you a little more offensive versatility, whereas Gobert is a better defender. The thing for me right now is Jack Sigma is affordable, right? You can buy the card for 100,000 MT, and you can even get one with 3 legend badges. This one's got Posterizer, Break Starter. And so look and see if you can get a good Jack Sigma. I like the card. Wish he was a little bit faster. Comes with a good release, normal leaner. Now for Rudy Gobert, a little bit different card, right? Defensively going to be better. 7-1 power forward. The Stifle Tower is the real deal on this game. I'm telling you, if you got the chance to get your hands on Rudy Gobert, you're probably going to like what you guys do see. At my number 9 here, we got DeMarcus Cousins. I would never recommend buying DeMarcus Cousins, but if you got him out of the locker code, he can play. I like the Pro 2 leaner. His release is okay. Movement-wise, not great. 6'11". At the end of the day, if you got a free DeMarcus Cousins, I can't hate on it, right? Like, I just can't simply hate on it whatsoever. But would I ever recommend, like, you guys, picking up DeMarcus Cousins or running DeMarcus Cousins if you didn't get him for free? Absolutely not. Like, if you got him for free, whatever. I can't hate on that, but outside of that, wouldn't recommend running him. At my number 8 here, I like Willis Reed. And yes, I like Willis Reed over DeMarcus Cousins. Am I biased? Maybe. But again, he's 6'10", Pro 2 leaner, D-book dribble style, perfect 6. And I don't know. I think Willis Reed jump shot is better than DeMarcus Cousins. And so I have Willis Reed here in at number 8. Am I biased for Willis Reed? Again, you can make the case I am. And I'll be willing to admit, okay, if you want to say that, maybe I am. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Willis Reed is absolutely free. You don't have to do anything crazy to get the card. He's free, and the card is absolutely elite. At my number 7 here, we've got the Mikan man. Now, some people gas George Mikan up to the moon. I'm not going to do that. I think Mikan is fine. I don't think he's, a top 5 power forward in the game. If you got him out of locker code, D-book base, Pro 2 leaner, D-book dribble style, like he does a lot of good things, but I do think there are power forwards better because at the end of the day, George Mikan's only 6'10". And the reason I say only is because you're going to see a lot of cards that I have higher that are just simply taller than George Mikan in this game. But I just can't hate the card a ton. He comes with a really good release. He's going to be able to knock down shots. His movement is really solid. And so again, from top to bottom, you're looking at a George Mikan card that is really solid. It's just kind of sad that we're in the era where he's not a top 5 power forward in the game. Like, he's not. 6'10". I think there are cards that are going to be a little bit higher. A card that was a letdown when it came out the other day was the Dark Matter Artist Gilmore. Now, I still have Artist Gilmore at my number 6. Am I too high on Artist Gilmore? You can arguably say yes. Do I think he's that much better than, let's say, a guy like Rudy Gobert? No. But at the end of the day, at the core of things, Artist Gilmore is 7'2". And so, like, that alone puts Artist Gilmore decently high. You combine that with the fact that he does have that Pro 2 leaner, movement-wise is okay. Like, you gotta somewhat like the card. No, I don't necessarily love his release. Has hot spots from everywhere, though. Has the Pro 2 leaner. He is 7'2". I mean, again, I think you could argue that there are going to be cards that, you could be higher on than Artis Gilmore. But at the core of it, he is 7'2", can play power forward, and defensively, he's going to be a beast. If you get a coach that boosts the speed, which a lot of people have at this stage, it is tough to outdo what Artis Gilmore can provide for you guys on the court. Again, am I biased for Artis Gilmore? I mean, again, you could argue yes. At my number 5, I know people are going to hate it. I don't care. I'm plugging in 100 overall Pro Pass Tim Duncan. If you got this card, and also I do want to make a side note, I didn't include any cards that are in events. Why? Because it's so tough. Like, if I include Ben Wallace, then, like, I got to include, other people. It's just really hard, and so I didn't include them. Tim Duncan, if you got this card out of the Pro Pass, is so good. And I get so sick and tired of people saying, are you seriously still running Tim Duncan? Yes, I am. Because why would I not? The KPJ Duncan upper on very quick with the Pro 2 leaner has Garland dribble style. His Pro 2 fade is immaculate. Tell me who is better than Tim Duncan that I've talked about so far. Yes, at this stage, there are going to be cards that are taller than Tim Duncan, therefore are higher on this list. But if you wanted to talk about a pure bucket getter, a pure we're not worried about height type of card, Tim Duncan's absolutely elite. And same thing with like a Ben Wallace type of card. Like Ben Wallace is shorter, so you got to, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I'm telling you, Tim Duncan can still compete at the very highest level. At my number 4, Dark Matter Kareem. Now, at this stage, Kareem is a lot cheaper than he used to be, and I still think the card is absolutely magnificent. Now, if you're running, let's say, Galaxy Opal Wemby at the 5, Kareem is the perfect power forward to run alongside of him. Offensively, all I need Kareem to do is stand there and shoot the basketball. Defensively is where I need Kareem to be at his best. 96 speed, great player build, 7'2". To me, here's what Artis Gilmore could have been. Artis Gilmore could have been this good. 2K didn't want to make him this good, which is why I can't be super high on Artis Gilmore. But Kareem, so elite on this game. Problem is, again, when you're comparing him to those top level guys, no, he doesn't have that Pro 2 leaner, which doesn't hurt his value slightly, but Kareem is still obviously very good. Kareem based on very quick's fine, can move a little bit. The basic leaner also isn't the worst. And again, when you are talking about cards that can go out there and compete at the very highest level, Kareem is one of those guys that can go and compete with the GOAT Kareem, can go and compete with Invincible Wemby. Is he those cards? No, but he absolutely can hold it down against those level of cards. Card I'll always gas up, coming in at my number 3, is Mr. Dikembe Mutombo. Now, if you don't want me to gas up Dikembe, I'm sorry, because it's going to happen. Let's start with this, okay? Jump shot. Jump shot is super good. I will say this, though. I miss with Dikembe more than I should. Also, normal leaner could be better, right? Could have that Pro 2 leaner. But he's got a 94 3-ball, way better than Kareem. 91 speed, defensively maxed, every Hall of Fame badge in the game you could ask for. Again, release-wise is going to be so much quicker than a guy like Kareem's. Defensively, basically maxed. There's just not a lot of flaws with Dikembe Mutombo. And again, when you're looking at do the pros outweigh the cons with Dikembe, I would ask, what are the cons with the cards? Because for me, when I'm looking at Dikembe, card looks nearly perfect. And again, you guys can sit up there and say, oh, Ty, you're just gassing Dikembe. Say whatever you want to say. I don't care, because I absolutely love what Mutombo provides on the court for me. Coming in at my number 2, 100 overall Kristaps Porzingis. Look, I have to include the card. Now, again, I know he's super expensive, so if you didn't get him out of the locker code, you're kind of out of luck. And that's like, for me, Kristaps is not attainable. He's just not. He's way too expensive for the average guy to be able to afford. But with that being said, if let's say you got KP out of the locker code or somehow got unsellable KP, you got a really good card. 100 overall KP, 7'2". He's got an easy release to time, easy to green. Basic leaner, again, kind of similar to, some of the other bigs that came out in season 5. It's not bad. Is it Pro 2 good? No. But it is a leaner that you can, create your own shot with. And for me, like with KP, 7'2", max stats, max badges, he is just a slightly better Dikembe Mutombo. And the one thing about, KP compared to Dikembe, and this is just my opinion, is I'm going to green more consistently with Kristaps than I am with Dikembe Mutombo. Now, that's just a me thing. You guys might not agree with me on that, but that's where I have Kristaps Porzingis. Coming in at my number 1, 100 overall Shaquille O'Neal. Like I said, if you didn't get him out of your pack, I'm sorry, but I can only do so much. 100 overall Shaq is the real deal. If you got him out of your 100 overall pack, you got the best power forward that, is 100 overall or lower in the entire game. Shaq's a card that's tough to contend with. His player build is absolutely elite. His release is tough to contest. Comes with the Garland dribble style. Has that, basic leaner, which is just fine. The one thing about Shaq is defensively is where he's going to be at his absolute best. I mean, his player build is absolutely massive. It's wide. It's super, super, super tough for me to find, many better options than Shaq. I absolutely love what this card can bring to the table for you guys. And again, I pulled Shaq when he came out March 7th on my birthday, which was so long ago at this stage. It's crazy that this card came out so long ago and is still the best, non-invincible 100 overall-ish card in the game. I'm sure there's cards I accidentally left off this list. Like, I'm thinking about it. Can Mark Eaton play power forward? No, but I'm sure there's cards I left off the list. So if there is, I do apologize. It's just tough to make these lists because I don't want to, rank the Invincibles because, again, then we wouldn't talk about any of these cards. So it just is really tough right now. But let me know your thoughts on this list down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.